Carlos Isiu on the road to recovery, presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute. Happy to be joined by Dr. Alan Beyer. Dr. B, we've got a big injury looking ahead to the winter games that are coming up in Italy. Lindsey Vonn, one of the most decorated skiers ever in the sport, and not to mention one of the most celebrated U.S. Olympians. We are talking about her knee injury. Now, during a training session, she she fell or she took a hard tumble and she had to be helicoptered out. We're finding out now it was a ruptured ACL during her training for her comeback for the Winter Games. Doc, she still insists that she will be competing in the games. Your reaction to that?
Well, obviously, I'm always devastated when an athlete of this caliber, training for something that only occurs every 4 years, is injured just in the weeks before, a week before it's supposed to take place. It's absolutely devastating and heartbreaking. Lindsay has had many injuries in her career, both knees, other injuries, very severe injuries, because she's such a competitor. She's more prone to getting those wipeout injuries than a skier that might be a little bit more, I don't want to say timid. None of these girls or guys are timid, but maybe not throwing themselves into it the way Lindsay characteristically always has. In the interview that I read from her, apparently she injured her ACL, her meniscus, and also had a bone bruise. You can brace a torn ACL and you can ski on a torn ACL with appropriate anterior cruciate ligament bracing. The bone bruise might be a different story. The bone bruise is not protected that much by the ACL brace. The meniscus tear, that could cause issues too. Um, I think that hats off to her for saying, I'm going to give it the college try and go out there and do it. Um, I think she's really deeply wants to be in Olympics that were 20 years apart. You know, nobody's ever done that. She's in her 40s already. If anyone could do it, and it's funny, this is the same exact phrase I use with Tiger Woods, who used to date Lindsey Vonn. If anyone could do it and come back from it, it's Lindsey Vonn because she is such a competitor. Um, I'm concerned, and I think that it's unlikely that she's going to be able to be the Lindsey Vonn who's able to stand on the gold medal platform, as much as it hurts me to say that. I just think it's very, very difficult to do only a few weeks after an injury like this.
So that goes to my next point, Doc. Is she pushing to compete to, you mentioned, you said that you called it the college try, but is it a sign of her legacy of just, hey, here's another Winter Games under my belt? Or is she going to be competitive and actually attack the medal stand?
Um, I think saying that she competed in another Olympic Games, the number of times that she has now, is a large part of this decision. I'm concerned that she certainly won't be as competitive as she would have been if this didn't happen. And I'm concerned that this triad of injury might prevent her ability to perform at the level that she's used to and was ready to perform at before this re-injury occurred.
Now, she had a press conference where she said that she's not in pain. That we can be subjective on in terms of pain threshold for somebody like her at her age and her history of injuries. I can imagine that her pain threshold is a bit higher than other normal skiers, and her knee is not swollen. Is it not swollen because of the timing of the injury? Did not giving it a chance to swell up or
Well, I think that she was immediately treated with appropriate measures to minimize the swelling. Um, there are very strict regulations as to what medications she could take to reduce swelling. Obviously, anything in the steroid family has to be approved. Now, again, this isn't performance enhancing steroids like testosterone. This would be anti-inflammatory steroid like cortisone, but or prednisone taken orally. But you're allowed to take those meds with permission from the governing bodies if you notify them that it's for a medical condition. So she might have been able to take those medications, which would keep the swelling down. Even though she's not having a lot of pain, the type of skiing that she does is so um, dependent on a stable knee platform, even though an ACL brace confers some stability to a knee that has a ruptured ACL, it's still not as good as your God-given ACL. So even without pain being the mitigating factor, I'm more concerned about stability being the mitigating factor. And is she able to do those tight turns and everything else that these people do, the jumps and landing on it and everything else? With a knee that is artificially anterior cruciate ligament enabled by use of an external brace.
Not to mention, she has also had a total knee replacement. So,
I believe it was a partial knee replacement, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong on that.
partial, correct, in
Either or,
2024.
and that was the other knee, right?
Yes,
Yeah. So that,
her right
that
knee.
amazes me that somebody could ski at the Olympic level on a partial knee replacement. I mean, that's absolutely incredible also. So, I mean, this is one of those generational athletes, just like a Kobe Bryant or a LeBron James or a Tiger Woods. And I could name 100 of them, which actually doesn't make him generational if I can name 100 of them, right? No, but in her sport, she's one of those generational athletes. But, you just can't fool the body that way. Just because you have the will to do it doesn't mean you necessarily have the platform to do it with.
Well, we'll see if one of the legends of skiing can compete in the downhill. I know she's still trying to decide if she's going to compete in the team combined in the Super G. But looking again ahead at the Winter Games, good luck, especially as an American. Good luck to Lindsey Vonn. But Dr. B, as you mentioned, as somebody who's coming off a partial knee replacement. She's a medical anomaly, right?
She absolutely is, and I wish her the best. Pulling for her too. And we'll just have to see how she does. It'll be absolutely incredible if she's able to pull it off.
Are there any other winter game athletes or sports that you're going to be keeping your eye on during the games?
I'm absolutely fascinated by some of the sports like bobsledding and skeleton. Anybody who goes down a hill at that speed head first is got no brain in their skeleton, as far as I'm concerned. It's fascinating to watch. I actually had a bobsledder on my radio show a number of months ago, and that's not just getting in the sled and turning a little bit and letting the track take you where you got to go. Those guys have that track memorized in their head. They know exactly when they're going to tweak the wheel to move the runners a little bit one way or the other. Bobsledding is absolutely phenomenal to watch. I love watching bobsledding. I think it's absolutely great.
And that was the member of the Jamaican bobsled team, correct?
Yeah, that's right. The Jamaican bobsledding team. And now he's a coach.
That's awesome, Doc. Doc, thank you very much for joining us on the Road to Recovery presented by Hoag Orthopedic Institute.